Dragon Age is back. It's so back, in fact, that in just a few short days it's gotten a brand new trailer, gameplay demo, and name. Say goodbye Dragon Age Dreadwolf, say hello Dragon Age the Veilguard. Sure, Dreadwolf sounds cooler. Sure, Veilguard sounds like some kind of stain repellent spray. But frankly, after seeing that first ever gameplay demo for the first Dragon Age game in 10 long years, it'll take more than that to bring me down. So please, allow me to present the 7 things you've simply got to know about Dragon Age the Veilguard.
This crew needs a leader. Someone we can count on. Someone that the world can count on. But where are we gonna find her?
Alright, according to BioWare, the name switch from Dreadwolf to Veilguard was meant to swivel the spotlight onto the game's companion characters, who will be fighting alongside you, guarding the tenuous mystical barrier between the real world and the spirit world, aka the Veil. Fair enough. This same messaging came through loud and clear in the game's new trailer, which emphasised the game's 7 companion characters and little else.
You know there will be dragons.
Right.
The character designs, unexpectedly stylised. The tone, unexpectedly upbeat, given Dragon Age's legacy of blood-spattered dark fantasy. Some startled Dragon Age fans compared the art style to Fortnite, but as series creator David Gaider, who left BioWare back in 2016, noted on Twitter, interesting tone choice, though the art style of DA trailers has never really matched the games, so that doesn't mean much. Gaider went on to remind us of the try-hard, this is the new shit trailer for Dragon Age Origins, which, yeah, talk about trailers being tonally and visually at odds with the actual game. 2009, everybody. For our purposes, though, the most important thing is discovering the 7 characters who we can party up with and, official word has it, become romantically entangled with. Because great news, all 7 are romanceable, regardless of your character's race or gender, being canonically pansexual. It's probably too early to choose, but for me, I'm going to say possibly, definitely, absolutely Lucanus the Master Assassin. Besides my new BioWare boyfriend, there's Nev the Detective, Balara the Veil Jumper,
We're going into the Fade, aren't we?
Gentleman Necromancer Emmerich, Davrin the Grey Warden, Tash the Canary Dragon Hunter, and everyone's favourite scout, Scout Harding, returning from Dragon Age Inquisition. More on her later.
We're good, but we need to move.
Agreed. Solas isn't waiting, neither can we.
Have you got my gear?
Right over there.
Following the companion-centric trailer came an extended gameplay demo where, yes, actually, the characters appear somewhat more natural and less stylised, or at least the stylisation appears less pronounced in the context of actual gameplay.
Eyes up, we've got company.
In any case, the demo was lifted from the start of the game with a human rogue rook, for that is the name of your player character, in the Tevinter city of Minrathous. Tevinter, you may remember, is a nation ruled by powerful mages where they love magic almost as much as slavery, and repped here by the Venatori cultists.
Venatori cultists!
In a departure from previous games, now you play with just 2 companions at your side, a leaner party that lends itself to the game's much more action-focused combat. You can do all your combat in real time if that's your bag, though I, for one, will be availing myself of the pause and play approach via the ability wheel, where you can pick the power you want to deploy and direct your 2 companions with the left and right sides of the wheel in a Mass Effect-ish sort of way. Personally, I'm curious to see how this action-oriented gameplay looks with a spellcasting player character, where I'll do less running and stabbing and more standing back and blasting everyone with magic lightning. On that note, the 3 player classes available are Rogue, Warrior, and Mage, each with 3 specialisations of their own. This Veilguard demo paired its action-led combat with a conspicuously linear-looking mission accompanying Dragon Age veteran Varric and Scout Harding to pick up private investigator Nev Gallus.
I think that's the last of them.
Good. Let's get to Dumont Plaza and find Nev.
Previews and interviews bolster the idea that Veilguard will not be entirely linear, but will be less enormously open world than Inquisition, with a preference for, quote, curated content over sprawling maps. Hard to know what that looks like at this point, given we've only seen the game at its most linear for the purposes of this demo.
The veil is a wound inflicted upon this world. It must be healed.
This linear mission takes Rook and his two companions, plus Varric, through an elvish magical mirror portal to the Arlathan Forest, urgently on the trail of Solas. You remember Solas.
People are always dying. It is what they do.
The Dreadwolf himself, Solas, is an ancient elvish god who, for most of Dragon Age Inquisition, you thought was your soft-spoken mage buddy, when actually he wanted to tear down the veil and restore the ancient elven world.
But now, he wanted to tear down that veil and destroy the world.
Solas is back on his bullshit in Veilguard, and despite not having the game named after him anymore, is clearly central to the new world-endangering conflict at the heart of this Dragon Age game.
Hey, Chuckles. Hope I'm not interrupting.
Does Varric calling Solas Chuckles make up for a decade without a Dragon Age? Almost.
Oh, crap.
We're too late.
The ritual started. But if we hurry, we can still stop Solas before it finishes. Let's go!
It's been 10 years since Dragon Age Inquisition, and apparently 9 in-game years since the events of that game. And in the intervening time, series regular Varric has grown a beard, gone brunette, and then gone a little bit grey. Hey, it happens.
The ritual must be weakening the veil. There are a lot of scared people out here.
And a lot of demons. Haven't seen this many come through the Fade in years.
Varric has been hunting Solas ever since Solas' cosmic heel turn with his legendary crossbow Bianca, who F in the chat to pay your respects. If that character death wasn't bad enough, I'd like to shout out the Dragon Age Reddit for the alarmingly persuasive theory that this scene, early in the game, where Varric goes to attempt diplomacy on Solas, and Rook spectacularly sabotages Solas' veil-ripping ritual, is where Varric dies. Would it be a shock? Yes. Would it be devastating? Yes. Would it explain how Varric isn't a playable companion in the rest of the game? Maybe. As theories go, I wouldn't rule out the possibility that Varric is killed or captured somewhere around this point. Few Dragon Age characters are as universally beliked as this burly dwarven rogue, so if you were looking for a way to crank up the emotional investment early game, this would be the way.
You're safe now. Get inside and bar the door as quick as you can, okay?
Thank you, miss.
Harding, you all right?
I've been doing what I can to help.
Speaking of fan favourite characters, here's to you, Scout Harding, for having only gotten more charming and more freckles since the days of Dragon Age Inquisition. If Varric looks a little weather-beaten these days, Harding has gone the other way, with an intergame glow-up which... love that for her.
Varric, Solas isn't gonna stop just because an old friend asks nicely.
Harding also benefits from the radically better-looking hair that appears across the board in Veilguard. We spy it on companion characters, NPCs, and player characters, and not before time what with the lacking and limited options back in Inquisition. With Harding now a proper playable and romanceable character, it seems like BioWare were paying attention to those players pining after a Harding romance, when Inquisition shortchanged them with a bunch of flirting and the merest hint of an off-screen relationship in post-game DLC.
I hope you finally took that adorable scout somewhere nice.
You know the score, BioWare. Makeout scene or we riot.
Are they after us? Is it because of the bar?
Word travels fast in Minrathous.
We've got to help her.
There's no character creation footage to show you yet, but when you create your human, elf, dwarf or Qunari player character in Dragon Age The Veilguard, there are, in addition to improved haircut options, a variety of backgrounds to flesh out your custom Rook.
We haven't got a lot of time. Varric said you had a lead on Solas?
You get right to the point.
The 6 backgrounds on offer line up with those of your companion characters, minus Harding, whose background is of course the Inquisition. So you'll have something meaningful in common with one of your companions from the start of the game. As we saw in the gameplay demo, where this rogue rook with his past involvement with secretive Tevinter faction, the Shadow Dragons, has special dialogue with Nev, another Shadow Dragons type.
Nev, meet Rook. Both of you have done some work for the Shadow Dragons.
Isn't that a coincidence?
It's not quite the 6 different playable prologues we had all the way back in Dragon Age Origins, but as a means to add an extra dimension to your handcrafted player character, I'm into it. The one thing the gameplay trailer definitively didn't give us was a release date beyond the general window of fall 2024, which I'll take it and cross several fingers that it doesn't slip into 2025.
And when the veil comes down completely,
Then the whole world is going to look a lot like this.
Between now and then, keep an eye on Outside Xbox for more on all things Dragon Age as we get them, and let us know in the comments if you're going to be playing, and for bonus points, who you're going to be romancing, probably. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.